to hear more from, some health professionals. So the first person that I want to introduce to you, and he's going to tell you his story very quickly, but he's also going to tell you more about the science of the X39 patch. I want to introduce to you a friend of mine named Dr. Tory Brooks, who I've actually known for over 20 years. He is he is a chiropractic sports physician, and Dr. Tory Brooks, he's had over 100 NBA clients, over 30 NFL clients, and over 20 Major League Baseball clients, as well as many other professional athletes through the years, helping them look better, feel better, perform better at all times. So he's an expert in his field. And so I want to bring Dr. Tory Brooks on here. So Dr. Tory, why don't you take it away? Tell these guys your story.
All right. Well, thanks for that great introduction there, Danny. This device, this wearable light device, this photobiomodulation device has changed the way that I practice. It has created such a storm of health that I could never deliver as just being a chiropractor and doing adjustments or using the latest and greatest device. This guy is changing lives all over the globe. But I was blessed with my buddy Dean Miller. He's a family friend, and he was my mentor. He was actually my trainer in Pop Warner when I was in 8th grade, and then he was my trainer at De La Salle in high school, and then he got me to go to U of A instead of UCLA, and I ended up going there. I still got to talk to him about that one. But anyway, he introduced this device to me several months ago, about September, and he asked me to do some protocols with chiropractic with this new device that he got, because he had been using it with his athletes at Rice University and killing it, just doing things that would never turn around as fast, recovery times and endurance and strength. He's never seen it, especially coming from such a simple device. But in any event, I put it to the side and forgot about it because I was in the process of selling my practice after 25 years. And then he called me up a couple months later and asked me where the protocols are. And I had to ask him where the device was because I hadn't received it yet. And he jokingly said, no, I sent it FedEx. And I said, oh my God, I thought those were the instructions. So that day I started using them in the practice, and that was the Icewave patch, and just taking pain away instantly, as you all well know how powerful that is. And it being a type 1 medical device in France, it's unbelievable. And then I quickly found out that they had the stem cell patch, and that's what got my attention and my wife's attention, because this little guy right here, 2.5 weeks after wearing it, my sleep apnea was gone. And then my wife's hot flashes, she was getting them about 25, 30 a day. And they were extreme hot flashes. They were gone within a month. My son's asthma, severe asthma. He's an athlete. He's 18 years old and got several offers for basketball this year, trying to figure out where he's going to land. But in any event, his asthma knocks him out and he's down for 3 weeks. I don't care if it's allopathic, if it's natural, whatever method we try to use, hot steam baths, the whole nine, it's 3 weeks once it gets into his lungs. And within 3 days, we put the patch on, it was gone, and they haven't come back in 6 months. So no more asthma. And my other son, his eczema was gone after a month, and scarring and everything is disappearing. So you had us at go with this patch, and this patch right here, it's non-transdermal, meaning that there's nothing on it. It's not like a lidocaine patch or a nicotine patch. So there's nothing going into your body that is physical. And then also it is, there's no contraindications. So I don't have to worry about patients' health history or what drugs they're on or what nutritional supplements they're on. It doesn't matter, because there's nothing that's going to contraindicate using it as well. And what I love about this thing is that it is able to reactivate dormant stem cells. And so how it does it is this patch, inside of the patch, here's a crystal formation of organic materials that create a certain wavelength. And so when your body's infrared, that we emit, if you get some night goggles, you can see the infrared. We emit heat and we emit infrared. And so this patch, it grabs it, sends it back in there with a certain wavelength, and it will turn on, it'll activate the GHK copper peptides. It'll interact with it, and then it will stimulate the dormant stem cells. And so it's all done organically. So it's done perfectly because your body, your brain, your central nervous system is controlling it all, which is fantastic. Okay. And then what we're finding out, though, is after you get this thing on your body, you put it on your body, within the first few days, it's going to start to reset 4,000 genes in your body. Okay. It's kind of like defragging a computer. It's going to clean things up and get things going. And then after a couple weeks, we've got brain balancing happening. And so if anybody with, I don't know, anger issues, depression, or any of the other issues that are out there for mental disease, it will help. It will help with that. And then so after a couple months, you got connective tissue being built, which is huge in my world because we have a lot of knee injuries, shoulder injuries, joint injuries, bone on bone, what have you. Well, this guy starts to create collagen. It starts to create connective tissue in your body. And the pre and post imagings will blow your mind. And then after 6 months, what they're finding out is that it's not only age reversing, anti-aging, it's age reversing up to 8 years with your cardiovascular system. And that is amazing because people that get compromised hearts and things of that nature, we're seeing things that are absolutely breathtaking. And make sure you bring the Kleenex with those. But this patch, this X39 patch, it does all things in time. So whatever your condition is, whatever your thing that you're battling, whatever that you're going through day to day, this thing in time, you give it enough time. And David, the owner and the inventor, says that you should give it a baseline, a minimum of a month for every decade of life that you have. And I tell you, you will not be disappointed. We've been in this thing, started doing it as a business for since March, we really turned it on. And since then, I mean, we have over 640 people on our team, and you can't stop this thing because there's no competition. This isn't a Me Too product. You can't go to Costco and get this. Can't go to Walmart, can't go to Walgreens, none of that. And there's no other company doing it. This is it. We have 17 more years left on that patent, and it's international patent. And so you were in the right place at the right time, and it's time to get excited and start patching people. And that's all I got to say, Danny.
Well, Dr. Tory, one of the things that I'd like to ask you is, let me see. One of the things I'd like to ask you is, when it comes to wearing this patch, you mentioned, your consistency. It's clinically proven statistically that if anybody who wears the patch for 90 days, 97% of all the people that wear the patch for at least 90 days see noticeable, measurable results. And that doesn't mean the other 3% aren't going to get results or aren't getting results, but that's how profound the impact is for anybody who'll be consistent with this. So speak into, right now, how you feel about, hey, just let me try it.
Well, I'm pretty much non-negotiable on that. I liken it to, it's people's mentalities. You're not going to get a prescription from your MD and you can take 2 pills and throw the rest of them out and expect it to work. That's ridiculous. So you need to, whatever condition you have didn't get there in a day. It's going to take a while, depending on your age, your lifestyle, the environment. There's so many different other things that are coming against your body. Okay. And so just give it that time that David says, that month for every decade. And I haven't seen anybody personally, maybe you have, but I haven't seen anybody that I've met or that I put on these patches that it has not helped if they do the prescription.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It works on everybody every time, if they just stay consistent, with the patch. So what do you see, based on, you kind of alluded to it in the beginning, but based on everything that you've seen in all your years of being a doctor, and you've treated hundreds of professional athletes consistently through the years, they've got to be at the top of their game all the time, from their head to their toes, every fiber of their being. I know that because I'm a dad of 3 Division I football players and 1 professional football player. So I understand this, but coming from you with 20 years of being 20 plus years of being a doctor, reemphasize how you feel about this patch and what you really see compared to all the other stuff you've seen from your heart.
Well, there's no downside to this. A lot of other things that are out there that are exogenous, that are being injected with or whatever, they have a downside to it. This doesn't, and it's affordable for everybody. And so it's allowing your body to work. And it's in control of it. It's not a man in control of this. Okay. That's why I love it. And the results are there every time. It has not let me down yet. And so I will talk to anybody, and I have, at every level of sport or that's out there. with confidence and with testimonies, with stories, with studies, with backing it and supporting it, that this thing right here, you got to jump on this thing because there's no competition. It's efficacious. It's definitely effective and everything and every aspect of it. Whatever you need to have done, it will do it. Just give it the proper time.
Yeah.
And hydrate, if I may say one thing. In closing, Danny, hydration's huge.
Yeah.
When somebody's not getting results and they get me on the phone, first time I ask them, are you hydrating? And then their definition of hydration is completely wrong usually. And so they don't understand that electrolytes have to do that. You can be overhydrated because your aquaporin's not getting the water intake, and you could be flooding your system the whole time and still be dehydrated.
Yeah.
But you have to get, for me, I like the Celtic salt. And there's other things out there as well as that, but that's what I prefer to use. I just get a couple pinches a day, do that, and drink it with my water, and that's what I do, and that's what I have my people do, and the results are going through the roof.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate it, Dr. Tory. Thanks for joining us.
You're
And
welcome.
that was awesome. It's great to hear from